back on 3D. That's 58. And the guy we did in the 3-stage a couple years back. It's a cop car. Minus his car. Waiting for title on that piece of shit. The Thunderbird. Dad's boat. Madison Collisions Buick. That went to great pains to have that fucking sign put up. Trucks, wrecker, 2 flatbeds, pink trailer, Dan's LTD, Chrissy's new car, Suburban, likely one of the largest facilities in the state. Joe's hot dog wagon. Good old Joe. The Line Rider trucks up. And this billboard, Christ, in the busy season, to leave poor Joe at this little spot right here. Probably had about 150 foot. All this land, well, that land was a promise. Poor Joe always had a hard time with the township. This is also part of the property. He does a steady business. From what I understand, he's probably going to be moving out. There's the dreaded house. The place was an absolute mess. Disaster. His father wasted thousands of dollars trying to keep that place going. It was all destroyed. Dirtbags. This is all part of it. This driveway here is really the part of it too. This is all sold off by the landlord. Right around the time Dad got sick, fell behind the rent. They were nice about it. They let us stay to our piece. Went from 12.62 acres of land, well, about 4. Which wasn't the end of the world. 4 acres was still enough to work on. This is all land we didn't even need. Let's take my international down here with Sean. Used to get stuck. We had so much fun down here. Last I heard, they're selling it to developers. You don't mind if I just trespass past this chain, do you? No, thank you. Last I heard, they're selling it to developers, or it was sold to developers. Supposed to be some kind of senior housing going up. Who knows these days? Property used to go all the way back to the tree line and then some. Over there in the distance is Wawa. All promise. One day we'd have all this. Back here where you can see the junkyard, if you will. Well, this is all exactly that. Part of the junkyard. That's where we stored the cars and the like that we didn't have the room for upstairs. Fortunately, kind of stayed and remained a junkyard. Back of the house, all the crap strewn about there, littering over the years. What I'm walking out right now used to be the trail. We used to take the truck to get to the back of the property. When we first got here, there were washing machines out there. There was all kinds of crap. Car parts, you can see in the background, all the concrete and stuff. Wow, this land over here I moved. Some of my employees moved. We moved it. Never such a rewarding feeling to be able to go back and do whatever you want in your own space. You have so much space to do it on. Sure, and I used to kind of joke around that one day we'd have like a little race car track back here. Sean used to drive demolition derbies right over there where the sand pit is. All we have left now are memories. All the viciously awesome times we had. God, how our friends envied us. A lot of my friends truly believed that we had it all. And for a while I believed that too. Until Dad got sick. They're all cars that Dad stored for L&M. Most of these were junks, racks, impounds. They picked off the Garden State Parkway. That was always the example of the successful father-son business. I can't say we ever aspired to it because they worked hard at it. They still work hard at it. But it wasn't the way Dad did it. The guys were only paying about $100 a month. So Sean's car, or one of his many parts cars. Most of them are gone now. And we ripped that budget box off that truck, which he Miranda screwed up. Went ahead and cut the lift gate off of it too. Customers' belongings were still inside of it. I had the wrecker. I was ripping the son of a gun out of this thing. Usually something else. Here are the parts for what was left of a lot of our repairs of the Ryder trucks. Hell, this yellow truck's been here for as long as we've been here, probably if not longer. One of John Jr.'s buddies. Back there is a sandblasting trailer. I have to tell you, in all the years I was here, that's probably one of the few places I decided I did not want to visit. I didn't tell how many rats were in there or whatever. All kinds of furniture and the like. It was an overall scary place. Buried out there a couple fire hydrants. Years back, said, we'll sandblast them, we'll paint them. Permanent lamps. I just never had the motivation for it. We blasted tankers back here, we blasted trailers back here, we blasted trucks, frames, wreckers, steel plates, you name it. The trailers where they stored all the sand. Here's the truck booth. Began over here. Kept going. Kept going. Kept going. All straight through there. This is one of Johnny O's cars that he has left over. Back down here, or the last time I was ever down here, about 5 years ago. This is the border with Cheesequake Park. Over there in the distance is the park. I presume that they put those markers up there. Let people know that's his park property. Stay the hell off. This mat right here. We're pulling parts of cars out. Big machine. Machine almost went down the hill actually one time. Straight big drop off. keep pulling cars at. You can see car parts still. Sort of wheels, cans, bags, garbage. This whole slick, when it gets rainy out, turns different colors from all the oil. I have to say, there's probably still some cars sitting underneath where I'm standing right now. From what I understand, there may be some cars out there too, where those junkers sit out in the marshland. Used to be a natural spring running through there. A couple months or so, we'd have to go back. There was sand with the front end loader, spread it out, keep it from building up too much water up at the drain out. This was Tommy Long's landscaping trailer. There was a storage container right over there. Father never charged him a penny for rent. What happened when my father died? So we were going to close the place rather than stick around to finish the work that needed to be finished. He decided he was going to go to somebody else. I'd like to see it burned. Here's another one of Sean's little parts cars. I never understood why he had such a affliction for these little things. I should really talk because I got a pile of them. This was an impound we got many years back. I think I ran it one time, but it's been sitting on its side for years. On that back trail there, pieces of aluminum. Things were stowed away over the years. It's basically garbage. I believe that was a spare bed liner from Dad's truck. And there's another one. A shame. This whole area here used to be lined up with Granvilles from my dad's friend Tony Crisali. He wanted us to kind of build one car out of them. There's Charlie's car. Poor son of a bitch wrecked it twice. Insurance went through the roof. Last time he wrecked it, he drove with a bad radiator and blew the engine. It's hard to believe it was probably 4 years ago. That's something else. Over in the distance, our neighbors over at Route 34 Auto Salvage. For a short time, were our competitors. That's probably about 2-3 years ago they decided they were going to get out of doing retail collision work. Just wanted to stick to their own. Their lot is vast. They have a tremendous amount of junk cars. They were good people. I doubt they're going to be that way anymore. When you're in business, people look at you differently. Up this side of the building's the entrance to the big truck bays. And one of those big Komatsu cat backs up there, a big bucket, big tank treasure roll up in there. A trailer for IROC, pile of trucks for Johnny on the spot, and trailers for Beltlandic fit in there. This is actually a job we did for the Atlantic Highlands. I did a whole cab on a Mack. That was insane. This is probably one of the best trucks we ever had. An old 1966 Diamond T. Give it a little bit of ether and charge the batteries up. Baby, this sucker ran. Given to us by one of the companies we did work with. Very Spartan piece of equipment. Started up and did what it had to do. It's free, so we liked it. It's Johnny O's boat. Shame he's not going to have a place to store his crap anymore. Here was one of those drive-on lifts my dad salvaged from the gas station. Never could split the beam on the ramp right there. Never understood why. This was too badly rusted as time went on. Oh well. From Dad's boat. Dad got sick with the Crohn's disease. He just decided he had to have a boat. He always wanted one. I'm glad he had a chance to do that. I got it from one of my old friend's fathers. He had kind of screwed up the engine in it. I drove around all summer one year looking for parts for this thing. Try and get that motor working. Got it all together. Turned out it didn't work. Had to get an engine for it. Put an engine in it. Remanufactured engine. I think he drove it once. The time my dad owned it, I was never in it. Had to help pump out the bilge 1 year. And Lou's Buick. Proud car, 193,000 miles on it. Ran good. Lou beat the shit out of it. A little bit of an engine knock, but it's good. Here's the tremendous elevators upstairs to the parts room. I used to put motors on there, quads, bikes, you name it. I'll show you the parts room in a few minutes. Here's John working. We'll see what kind of condition the loader's in. Yep, I did it. What? Big ass truck. V10 in it. And if we're really on the body shop. This is the area to the truck bay. Furnace room area. These furnaces cost a fortune to run. It used to be gear rolling here. All this crap. Slop sink. This is the Mighty Horse compressor. Huge ass belts. There's the gate going into the sandblast pit. It was something else. Well, it was something else. This was the rider truck storage area. Come to think of it. Forgot to give Nikki all this aluminum. Trailer for Johnny on the spot. All I know is how long it's going to take for them to do that until they get back up in operation again. This is a big, bad room. Huge. Span the whole trailer. Secondary door, split it off for something shorter that you were spraying so you can get air going all over the place. This is an impound I picked up right before we closed with Title 4. I just decided we're going to gut it without asking me. Wow, Johnny used to run up and down. He's like an acrobat painting those trucks. See, the whole building was built in sections. We're actually next to the pro shop now, which is where John was with the loader. Huge door. Something sinister. That lock never used to work right. I don't think that alarm contact ever worked correctly. No matter. Nobody ever broke in, stolen anything from us. Dad bought that paint. I bought that paint cabinet from another body shop, out of business. Have to move it in here. It's a pressure washer. Yeah, I might take that home. Just so much stuff here. Many memories, 7 years of my life I spent here. Helped paint most of this place. I didn't paint this room, I went to the hospital by that point. Life was just too much for me at that time. There's so much. MIG welder. Work lights. Those are going home with me. Spot welder. Tape machine. Fire extinguisher. Cabinet filled with manuals. Manuals and frames, pullers. It's a compressor room. Just had his head rebuilt. Dump these suckers every single day. Pathetic, they run on light switches. Timers didn't even work for him. Grandpa's old lawnmower. Parts bin where we used to keep parts when we were working on collision jobs so that insurance companies could come down and take a look at them. And obviously there's no parts anymore. The famous gasoline cans that kept losing its top. All this back here we used to keep scrap metal. Stuff waiting for approvals on from insurance companies as far as supplements. So still some stuff we had left when the adjuster never came back for it. Scrap metal dumpster. Years back, they used to pick them up for free. This guy wanted to charge us $50 a pickup, which is better than the norm. So many bumper covers. So many. Cardboard dumpster. Regular scrap dumpster. This car we had for 2 years. Probably going to disappear with everything else. All this spare aluminum, all worth money. Those are the dog pens where John used to keep his guard dogs back when this was his place. Apparently they got poisoned some years back, so he stopped keeping them. These are his friends' vehicles. This was my flatbed. This was, I refer to it as number 3. 1989. I started driving this truck when she had probably about 30,000 miles on her. Back then, for diesel, it accelerated like a gas motor. I just tried to keep her clean. She's got 68,723 miles on it now. It's a truck I learned how to tow on. Every fucking quirk on this truck. This was Dad's and Sean's truck, number 1, 1988. think the truck had probably about between 200,000 and 300,000 miles on it. Big diesel. This sucker was slow. For some reason, it always started up better than my truck did. Everything was a stick. Dad believed in. Yeah. Mac will come and take their way with it. Not my problem anymore. These beds, man, we towed some heavy shit. I estimated having these plates replaced for the wheel lift, but I'm kind of glad I didn't have them done at this point. This poor truck only had a tow bar. This one had more winch cable than this one did. This one was always a better wincher and puller. This one was good for a two-car Charlie or for impounds because the bed had a lot more tilt. This was the old record, 1982. This truck went mudding probably more than any other single truck I ever owned. Always had car problems, but son of a gun made it through a lot of junk we didn't think so. Not bad for two-wheel drive. Nobody knows for sure how many miles are on this. Most of the physical damage that's here was done by John and his cronies long before we got her. I pulled piles of people out of the mud with this, and ditches and snowstorms and you name it. All the years we were here, never put new cables on it. Always kept them lubed. This truck I always try to keep in pretty good shape. Gear-driven winch, never went bad. This poor son of a gun just always beat. Just put new rocker panels on because it rotted out too bad. It's a good truck. We used to have cars lined all the way that back fence. We were in our heyday, probably around 97, 98, 99. We had them going stretching all the way across here. There was a time when we had cars stretched out along here too. This place was an absolute madhouse. Just incredibly busy, just incredibly unprofitable. Coming to the wash bays, easily accessed from the body shop door. Hundreds of times I brought my car in here and washed it. Hundreds of times. Could be 2 o'clock in the morning. This is the final staging area where we used to assemble cars, detail them before people picked up. Here's one very large spray booth. When they built this place, they kind of oversized everything. This booth sure fit a lot. Yeah. Full downdraft, 1 million BTU. Don't tell me the booth suppression system go off. Destroyed us. Lost a number of days. Oh well. It's the cave between the wash bays and the prep area. To the right is the furnace. There's the old control panel. Hit that switch, turn the lights on. That switch to hit the igniter. And this was the master power switch. Right down here. This is the paint prep area. It was done on everybody's favorite motif, which was Redneckville. Strung up my old Christmas lights I was looking to get rid of. I used to light this place up at the holidays. It was really something amazing when we had a bunch of people working here. Guys always seem to have a pretty good time. Paint mixing area. A lot of products going back. Things we bought into, never used. This was all compartmentalized at one point. Over here is the prep area. or the prep deck. Dad bought this used from another body shop, went out of business. The time this whole caddy came down on top of a Navigator. The RRT. This was an expensive piece of equipment designed to try and cut down the time it took to cure paint, the efforts of increasing productivity. And it never worked. We painted all this stuff white. Pablo's car. This is officially the last vehicle to be completed at Madison Collision and Restorations. Probably one of the finest we ever did. This car's been done no less than, I think, 3 times in various stages by us. Some of those guys that did that sick car thing that we have. I guess that's why he was always a friend. And back around. This is what we referred to as the wall of shame. There's a lot of fumes in this place. Used to be our fridge at home. Tommy, along with a little bitch, took his back. And here's the original yard truck. This is John Jr.'s father's truck. And let's go bouncing through the sandpit, me and show him with this thing. The sucker was destroyed before we got it. Son of a bitch ran like a bear, though. That was all fucked up. Always had a flat tire. Series where I was born towards the end, started putting together cars. Gina's ex-husband Rob built most of this area. Never finished it. This was to be the parts room where Charlie was going to sit and hand parts off, but fortunately that never came into effect. There was the Zamboni street sweeper. Awesome piece of equipment. I loved using that during the summertime. Just stream across the whole property, sweeping it up. Best part about it was nobody could hear you. This bay was just about tall enough to fit the ram in, which was good enough for most assembly jobs. Supply cabinets for the body shop. Tried locking off the material so the guys couldn't get to them. It's a big fear that guys were stealing from them. This was the break room. That held classes here at one point. This was at one point a bay where they used to spray cars. When we got here, it was a nasty piece of shit. Grandparents' old microwave, they had their television set. So we need beer in the fridge. There's beer in the fridge. By rights, ice pop's still there too. And here was the Firestone room. Father's first chance at trying to save this place. Bringing the Firestone tires. All here used to be open office. We split it up into cubicles. This used to be Dad's desk. He had all kinds of old gas stations displayed. Had him set up with his own workstation, own calculator, own rolly chair. Hell, even had his own fridge. Must have been nice being the boss. Over here are some of the pictures of rural. That's what the place looked like when John had it. It was probably up at one of its highest capacities. This was a desk I bought. I was supposed to set up, but John wound up picking it up. This is where we put stuff that's supposed to be saved. This is where Charlie spent a good portion of his tenure, but I wound up finishing mine out. Cute little office. All this was cut out. Supposed to be finished. Rob never got around to it. Dad put central air conditioning in here. Duct work for everything. Rob was supposed to put a drop ceiling in, but it took so goddamn long. And here's the parts room. This was a waste. Cabinets were supposed to be mounted by Rob, but he never got around to doing it. This all used to be a bay where they sprayed cars too. Matter of fact, the Firestone room they used to spray cars into. They used to just spray cars anywhere they could. Tough from the paint on the floor. This was always a hell of a place to try and keep clean. This was the main entrance. This is where Gina used to plop her fat ass down in the end. Supposed to check in her rider trucks most of the time she spent the time eating. Used to have all the certificates lined up across the ceiling, around down the sides. All that's left is cigarette stained walls. My father and I ran Brian and we made a lot of money. That's one of those things you couldn't trust if somebody else do. This is the area I used to work at. This was the expert desk. It's hard to believe that in this small area we transacted millions of dollars over the course of years. Well, on the top there used to be all books. I used to hang the keys. Used to be all suppliers' telephone numbers there, calculator. A trusty old labor service guide. Never got into one of those. Still was working on 99. These desks we got from the Exxon station. I had them painted black. We used them. Saved money when we thought it made sense. Keys to some of the cars that we still have sticking around. Always try to make the place look professional. These diagrams, I don't know how many times helped me out of components I didn't understand or I couldn't locate. Dad saved most of these. It was a real good idea. These used to be lined up with my technician certifications and accomplishments. We're very proud of the work we did here. We always were. Saturday mornings we'd have these chairs lined up, people just hanging out, having a good time. That was before September hit. September 11th. That's when our business started going downhill. I'll tell you how many people miss this sign. It says watch your step. And fall down that crevice. Nasty's bathroom. Probably warms in the wintertime.
Oh my God. What are you doing?
Running out of this area. Chris used to sit every day. It's kind of Spartan now. This place always looked a mess. But Dad wouldn't let it go any other way. That board used to be lined up with cars we towed in, top to bottom. Tow bills. Vast array of radios we collected over the years. Files, which I insisted had to be remain downstairs. It made this place fit over people. Now look at it. Thousands of dollars in that alarm system. It's for the fire company.
You still here, bud?
Mm-hmm. We used to line keys up and down both these pegboards. Jobs waiting to come in. Jobs waiting to go out. It had its own executive washroom. For some reason they always kept that one cleaner than anything else. This place used to be professional looking. That's just a rundown shithole. Coming upstairs is the executive offices. What are the executive offices? All these walls used to line diplomas and plaques and certificates of accomplishment. Many of these walls covered. That had done so much good for so many people. This hasn't changed much since when we came here. Stationery cabinet. Just keep files, clothes, computer parts, accessories in there. This place even had its own bathroom too. Dad's cologne's still in here. And it had its own shower. Just didn't work too bad, might I add. Not even installed the bathroom scale after I started getting serious about his weight. It was after the first time with Crohn's disease. This was supposed to be his office, but this is probably the last place he ever spent time in the building. Telephone equipment used to be in there. So much. So much has changed. The front end shop. It's the alignment pit. We can do very extended wheelbase vehicles, including the flatbeds. Just park the asses outside. As long as the front end wheels are over there, be okay. Alignment machine. Full four-wheel alignment rack. And they killed this place with the ceilings were too loud to really jack anything up far enough so you can work. So are our supply areas. Yep. Oil, some fuel additives, hoses, clamps, bulbs, filters. God, we had so many filters. That's toolboxes used to be right along that wall. Compressor had rebuilt ones. Truck compressor. Cabinets, more cabinets. One chassis lift. Another chassis lift. Sean's box used to be over here. Tire machine. Wheel balancer. Stocks and weights. Brake lathe. $50,000 inspection machine. It's all garbage now. We used to have this place pumping and thriving with activity every morning. This is the boiler room. Some clip storage. 3 mighty boilers up here plus the 2 downstairs. Every clip you could name, any rivet you needed, any bolt you had to have, nut, washer, you name it. Thousands of dollars in these cabinets. Paint books going back to the 60s, the 50s, even back to the 40s. All from a generation that all there is. And upstairs here we come to the final leg of our journey. A wild and mysterious parts room. This is always the kind of place you can play hide and go seek for hours at a time. Indeed, what a parts room this was. Super high ceilings. This whole area here is over 3,000 square feet. Dad built these racks to hold tires. We had tires all over the place. Top and bottom, plus the floor. And we have room for parts. High ceilings. This is all tires too. Top to bottom, loaded with tires. Did a tremendous tire business for a long time. my dad never believed in compensating people for their good works. We lost a lot of this. This area used to be loaded with our own files, and my own personal stuff. Put that dashboard out for the Cadillac. These were all loaded with files. Files in our own car parts. This place was vast. Insanely vast, the amount of space that we had here. More and more parts. All over the place. And then we can come outside. These are the stairs from the parts loft. When we first got here, my dad brought me up here, showed me the vastness of this entire building. Showed me how large our world really was. And we'd gone from a simple gas station to a behemoth of an operation enterprise, if you will. We were huge. Absolutely huge. Those are the mighty stacks for the paint booth. We had it all. And my father saying to me some years back, pointing out it was springtime. Most of the area over there was fresh and green with life before a lot of this garbage, pollution we brought with us. Maybe look out there and said, see all that? I'm doing this now for you and your brother, so that one day it can all be yours. So that you guys will have something that you can retire on. Because chances are I'll probably never live to retire. How a man could know his own fate that well is beyond me. This prophecy came true. My father died February 20th, 2003. He never realized his dream. That one day he could pass all this on, something tangible, to his sons. They say in life everything happens for a reason, yet today we struggle to figure out what that reason is. Yet, not being here, I feel an awesome weight lifted from my shoulders. But I feel a great deal of sadness and remorse, as if I didn't help my father accomplish this great goal. Maybe there was something greater that I should have been doing. I don't know, but our time in this place is over now. This will probably be the last time that I ever walk this roof. The last time that I can recount those dreams that my father instilled in me. So many people have told me since his passing that he only did this for you. That he wanted the best for you and your brother and your mother. guess I have to believe now that this wasn't the best. That the best is what he left us deep in our hearts. All it was a dream. Sometimes your dreams just don't come true. I believe all we can do is, at least I'm hoping this is the way it works, but what I believe is all you can do is look out, look up, and know the things that you can count on. Is that we all live and die as all creatures do. And then what happens in between is luck. Some can make it, some can't. Bob Kelly loved his family. He took on more than any other man in this world could possibly have, or would have. And his illness took him from us. How we deal with that is up to us. For life is gray. Business is only black and white.